Hello, it's me, Nick. Okay, this is an intro to the intro to Python for marketers. I basically just want to set some expectations, explain what we're going to do in this sort of series of videos, and kind of explain why I'm doing this a little, just so you got a bit of context on the situation. So, first, little bit of housekeeping. If you have any questions, you need to get me at Twitter at NickDuddy, or comment in the video you're talking about, comment section. Any questions about this video, just comment in this video section. It's the best way for me to communicate with me, and I can't see me not responding to somebody unless it's like somebody giving us a douchebag comment. One other thing, every video will have captions, so if you're struggling with my accent, then just hit the captions button. It'll be fine, no problem. So preparation, I've done 2 out of the 3 installing Python on your machine videos, and they're in a playlist on the channel. So if you go to databoy.com, go to playlists, you'll see that. The third one I'm doing is a Mac one. I just need to get somebody to give me their Mac for a couple hours so I can do it. Once that's up, the first video will come out. You'll be able to get the notebooks we'll be working with, so that's the content that's in the video, at GitHub at github.com/Miratrix. But again, in every video there will be a link to the video to my GitHub repository. And I think it's important to say that this stuff is achievable, but it's not necessarily easy to do instantly, and you'll get better with time. So you just need to practice a lot and go at your own pace. Like pause the videos, do whatever way that you need to do it to learn. Don't feel like you need to go with the flow of the video. I certainly don't when I watch videos. So just to talk about the DATABOI project, I'm doing it because I want to upskill marketers. Hopefully this will be the first of many series. It entirely depends on how you guys feel about it. And the goal of this series is to show you how to perform basic sort of Excel tasks in Python, so you can kind of see the relationship. Give you some basic tools to take that information that you've learned from the tutorial and apply it in your work like the next day. And hopefully pique your interest to want to spend more time learning Python, because I found it an incredibly useful tool, and it's changed the way I think and use data quite drastically, and how I approach projects in general. So that's the DataBoy project. That's what you'll be receiving from the DataBoy project. Another kind of aspect of it is, I think learning Python will allow you to spend less time doing the heavy lifting, spend less time analyzing data, and more time just receiving the outputs, being creative, developing strategy. These are the things that we got into marketing to do. Less time stuck sitting in a seat in front of a computer at the screen. I understand how ironic it is that you have to learn Python in that position, but hopefully after learning Python, you won't need to spend as much time at your desk. And as a whole, I hope that if we automate more of the sort of the heavy lifting, the analysis, the boring stuff, the stuff that's quite draining, it will make us happier because we get to do more creative stuff. So hopefully the DataBoy project will help improve your life over time. That's my goal. Some cool things you'll be able to do by the end of this series is draw some cool graphs. Basically, that's what we're doing. You're going to be analyzing data, but you've seen tabular data before. It's tabular data. It's not sexy. It's not cool. But Python by far can draw better graphs than any other out-the-box package out there. So you will be able to draw a heat map and draw a kind of time series graph, and there'll be some other graphing in there as well, but I just wanted to highlight these ones because of all the colors. So you'll be able to do that by the end of these videos. In this video, I just want to cover a few basics. So a brief history of Python, why Python is good for marketers, the relationship between marketers, Python, and machine learning, how it's not necessarily an all or nothing situation with what we have just now, and kind of, again, put you on that path to making your life easier and more enjoyable as a marketer. So 6 reasons as a marketer that you will love Python. It's easy to learn than other programs. Some programs are very dense, very hard to read code. It handles large data sets much faster than something like Excel. So if you've got like 150 columns in Excel, rows in Excel, and maybe 30 or 40 columns, that'll take a good few seconds, maybe 20 or 30 seconds to load. Anytime you do a calculation on it, it will take its time. So it will speed up what you're doing, essentially. You can make really cool graphs, as the ones I just showed you, but there's even cooler ones, like 3D ones that you can rotate. And being able to visualize data, I can't explain how much easier it makes finding patterns in relationships, which in data, which is like a big part of being a marketer, is being able to understand patterns, see patterns, and act on patterns. I think I might have skipped automating tasks. No. Anyway, you'll be able to automate your reporting. You'll be able to it'll do all the heavy lifting, boring stuff. And you can also, you'll be able to automate other boring tasks that necessarily aren't mission critical at work, but you would rather somebody else did it. In this case, you can get the machine to do it for you. An example of this is we get captions made for YouTube videos. What we would like to do is take those captions and turn them into transcriptions. So a big block of text. But captions come with timestamps. And right now we've built a script that strips out all the timestamps and just leaves you a block of text. That would take somebody, that's the most boring job in the world. It's like copy, delete, like a highlight, delete, like for as many times as a timestamp appears. And it takes a long time, and you're too smart to be sitting doing this stuff, and run a Python script, and within a blip it's done 30 files. You're fine, you're rocking. And it only took a few minutes to get that script knocked up. And the 6th reason is it will give you access to machine learning tools and statistical modeling tools, which will help you predict or suggest the likelihood of doing action X or Y. And the reason I make the distinction between machine learning and statistical modeling, because there's a sort of overlap there, is statistical modeling is a lot less computational heavy, so you can do things quicker, but machine learning is very good at identifying patterns, like in time series, but it does take a lot more resource, and you might need to use cloud systems and stuff like that, depending on how big your data is and what you're trying to solve. So there's a difference between them, but it doesn't matter, because Python gives you access to libraries that can do all the stuff you need to do. So that's 6 reasons to love Python, and mostly they're about reducing the crap parts of your job, understanding your data better, and then automating your data. So 6 reasons, I think they're good reasons. As I mentioned earlier, it's not an all or nothing situation. I'm not saying that you drop Python you drop Excel and Data Studio and Tableau and all these other packages to go learn Python and never look back. Regularly, I will look at data in Excel, but sometimes Excel won't. I mean, for looking at tabular data, Excel's far quicker, and at times, if you're randomly filtering, you're just trying to see something, then yeah, Excel is much better at that, but sometimes Excel is too big. So what you can do is too slow to handle the big data. So what you could do, and what I do, is sometimes I put it into Python and strip down to the area of the data that I need, export it and open it in Excel so it loads faster, and I can do calculations in Excel if I need to, if it's not that big a job. So It isn't all or nothing. It's just another tool that you layer and you kind of bolt it into what you're doing. And in time, I think, if you really commit to learning Python, you'll remove a lot of the tasks that you would do in these other tools and replace them with Python. So this series is 4 videos long. The first video is just like a first touch at Python, opening or loading, as we call it, your data into Python and describing your data and just kind of messing around with just getting a feel for it. Starting to begin to understand the terminology of like importing libraries and things like that. The second video is investigating the data that you've used in the first video in a bit more detail. So filtering data, counting it, things like that, things that you would do in Excel. Then it's exploring Facebook data, and that's the same as we're going to do. It's a similar process to the first two, but then we're going to start adding graphing and charting, so you'll be able to draw out a scatter graph on a time series by the end of that one. And then the fourth one is looking at Google Search Console data. So that's dealing with like keywords and numbers, so text and numbers. And there's different sort of little methods for dealing with text and numbers that you won't necessarily find in Facebook data. So I've tried to cover kind of social data and search data in this, and the first couple of videos will deal with kind of campaign data. It's actually Kickstarter data, so you'll need to download it from Kaggle, but there's instructions on how to do that in the video. So that's essentially the 4 videos and what we'll cover. And then after that, you should be able to explore your data in Python and draw some graphs. And the next step from there will be feedback from you guys. Just wash me in the useful feedback. You don't need nonsense that isn't actually actionable. And we'll go on to like a deeper dive into Python data analysis, which should help you discover even more things about your data that you might not have known before. So just to round up, go to the DataBoy channel at databoy.com or follow that bit.ly link if you want to nail that one out. Subscribe, hit the bell next to the subscribe button, or you won't get notifications that the videos are coming out. The channel only has use in this world, in this cosmos, if people use it, if people see it and find it helpful and comment and interact. That's the only reason for doing these videos. If there's no interaction, no useful, nobody's find it useful, there won't be any more videos. And then the series will be put into a playlist so you can quickly find it. And if we do multiple series, then you'll be able to navigate them easily. And follow me on Twitter and I'll answer any questions you've got, and you can annoy me if the videos aren't out on time. As far as time frames are going, I need to get a hold of this Mac so I can do the setup so you can install Python on your machine. Once that is out, it'll be a couple of days after that, and then the first video will be out. I'll record the second video after the first once I have feedback from you guys. So again, this is all about a community thing. I'm going to do my best to kind of serve you guys and give you what you need to learn. But I need feedback. I can guide it myself to a certain degree. So if you've got if you've got a Windows computer or Ubuntu, check out the setup playlist just now, and you'll be able to install Python via a package called Anaconda, and you'll be ready for when the video comes out. In the meantime, I'm working on this. If you know anybody who you think would be interested in it and would find it useful, please send them the link. This is all about a community project. All right, guys. I'll see you guys soon. Ciao.